Good afternoon. And you are rolling on the road with Dr. Kimberly and Dave. Well, today Dave is on another assignment. It's called his anniversary. So him and his wife, Melissa, are out for a few days, enjoying one another, enjoying that married life. Yes. So enjoy. You guys be safe, and we'll see you soon. So today is open mic. Yes, it is. So you can come on. The link in the is on the post. So if you want to come in and come on the air live, we welcome it and would love to hear how you have enjoyed these last few weeks talking about developing your inner strength. And today I realized that over time, maybe what got you through, let's say 4 or 5 years ago, life has changed for you. And so sometimes you have to revisit your points. What are some of the things that help me to get strong? And what has happened in the last 3 years that has changed how I've developed that inner strength? And a lot of times it changes based on the challenges that we've had. So if, let's say, 6 years ago, you were going through a divorce, you lost a job, you needed to move, what helped you to get through that is going to be different than today, 6 years later, where you're remarried, you have the job of your dreams, you're living in the house of your dreams. So, what is fueling your inner strength right now? So, let's see, let's go over here. I'm going to take this off of full screen and we're going to pull up our comments. I want to say good afternoon to everyone who is tuning in. And I want to say today, I had to revisit mine. I kept saying, well, I've got some and I'm going to post those. But those were from, wow, about 7 years ago, maybe almost 8, that I came up with that when I started thinking about all the things that have happened to me over this last 8 years. I've needed to do something different than what I did almost 8 years ago. So here we go. And see, I wrote them out so that I could share them today. What are my 10 points? And the reason why, if you want to know how do we come up with 10, 10 is because God gave us 10 commandments to live by. 10. When Moses went up there were 10 commandments. So I figured that if God gave us 10 commandments that we have to follow, then anything that we do, maybe it needs to be in 10. So let's see, hit send. And I'm going to put on my glasses so I can see I'm not squinting. So number 1, I pray about everything. Number 2, I find that God answers in all things. And what that means is there are times where I've asked God something or I didn't understand it, and I'm watching a TV show, and all of a sudden, the show seems like the plot of it ends up being what I'm going through and ends up becoming an answer. Or maybe one of the characters is acting out of pocket. And the next thing I know, it's like, oh my gosh, that is the answer to my question. So I try to find God in everything. Or maybe a certain song comes up and I'm listening to it and it's like, oh wow, listen to the lyrics. Number 3 is I never lied to myself. Like if you say, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. I'm blessed beyond blessed, and I'm blessed and highly favored. I don't tell myself that when I know that is not how I'm feeling today. No, no, no. She is not feeling blessed and highly favored. I'm barely hanging on. So I never lied to myself. Vertagi's here. Hey, good afternoon, ma'am. Today we're just talking about it's open mic. So if you want to come on, you're more than welcome to come on. The link is, let's see, I think I can add the link real quick. If you want to come on camera, If not, we can keep talking. But here we go. I'm going to stick the link in here. So at any given time, and there is the link if you want to come on live on the show. And if you're, wait a minute, she says she's driving. So does that mean that you're listening? All right. So we want to say hey to Miss Pat Wembley. You guys need to check her out at Grahi. If you haven't donated blood, then you need to. We, brown and black people, have a tendency not to want to donate blood. But Miss Pat, if you put your information in the chat on how they can get a hold to you so that you can donate blood, I'm telling you, we need blood more than anybody. We really do. And we don't give. And we need to start being givers. All right. So Miss Pat, if you can put your information in our chat, we'll be more than happy to pass out the information so that we can get some more blood donors. All right. Thanks so much. So number 4 is I share whatever I have learned. One of the things that I've learned that when you develop your inner strength and it's pretty solidified, you feel comfortable in sharing what got you to where you are. So make sure that you share what it is that you know with others. And number 5 is what I have is tangible and it is transferable. There is nothing spooky about developing your inner strength. I do believe in God. I do believe that He assists me, that He has angels that come, whether they come in the form of you and you and you and you to assist me along the way. And I can teach you that. It's transferable to you, and it's something that is tangible. Number 6. Whoa, this is my favorite. I have a tribe that holds me accountable, prays for me, and encourages me, and it is reciprocal. Many times people say, I did this on my own. No man is an island unto himself. There's always someone who is a listening ear, who encourages us, who keeps us going, who prays for us. And we need to give honor to whom honor is due. So I do. I have a great team, and they're not all in my backyard. I have some folks as far as California. So guess what? I have all of my bases covered. I have somebody on the West Coast, East Coast, in the North and in the South, and then right here where I am, so that all of my bases are covered and that there are people who know me in different ways. So I don't find everybody in the professional world, I have people, professional, business, church, every area that I'm touching, there is someone there that is a part of my tribe that's holding me accountable. How are you, Tracy? Tracy is checking in from Maryland. Yes. And Miss Pat says, now y'all know I can't see. Thank you. And they're trying to connect with Black churches to host. And what does that say? Okay, there we go. So we're going to copy and paste so you guys can see her email, so you guys can email her. And if you are a part of like your community outreach for your church, this is an excellent, excellent opportunity for you to connect with Miss Pat and have her to come to your church and host. Miss Pat, if you can do me a favor and just put your email in the chat so that I can copy and paste it and I can run it along the bottom. And you are so welcome. That is exactly what we do here, is that we pass out information and we make sure that people are getting good information. Good information from the right source. We are not rehearsing negative information or misinformation. All right, here we go. So there is Miss Pat's email, and I am going to attempt to, let's start that. See if I can do this while I am. And there we go. And that's where she works, at Grahi. So right now I'm talking about my 10 points for how I have developed my inner strength and how over time it changes based on our situations. And I am a firm believer that our trials and our tribulations are not sent to break us down, but to build us up. And that's where we find our strength. That's where we find out, wow, I could do more than what I thought that I could. You know, we get a little nervous, like, oh, I don't think I can do that. And then we look back and we say, I can't believe that I made it over. And then those we put in our chest of wins and we say, guess what? This is what helped me. So when something else comes up, I can go back and say, look, I had this win a year ago. This situation is a little similar. And what can I pull from that? And what did I do then in order for me to get through it? So I said I have 10 points, and we came up with 10 because God gave us 10 commandments, right? So if he gives us 10 commandments, then we need to find a way to apply those 10 commandments to our lives. And then the 10 things, that we use every single day to get us through. So I'm on number 7, but I will go back through. So number 7 is I take time for positive reflection and self-care. Many times we rehearse the problem without rehearsing a solution or finding someone who can interject some positive energy into our situation. We find someone who's going to commiserate with us. Girl, I know how you feel. Yup, I went through that too. And oh my God, that is bad. That is horrible. And it's amazing how when we feel wrong or we feel slighted, how we want to stay in that pocket. And when someone is trying to infuse some positivity or say, you know what, I need you to look at this a little bit differently. No, this is how I'm going to look at it. This is not right. I was wrong. This needs to be changed. This is what needs to be happening. And I'm going to make sure that it happens. And it's like, you don't need to fix what's broken. And it's not what's out there. It's number one, it's you. And maybe you need to look at the situation just a little bit differently. What I have found, it's not necessarily so much of what you go through, but it is 100% your attitude towards it is what makes the difference. If we believe the Bible, and the Bible says that a man, meaning mankind, that is born of a woman, their days are full of trouble. If we know that and we believe it, then we shouldn't be surprised when trouble comes. And it shouldn't be a complaint. It shouldn't be an anger. Then our response should, if I know this is going to happen, let's come up with a few game plans to make this a little bit easier when it does happen. So if we start changing how we think about it, how we're going to respond to it, trust me, it is going to turn out so much better for you than it will be if you come in, and I promise you, you can find 35 people that will come alongside you and say, girl, I know, right? Isn't that wrong? Right? Mm-hmm. I know, because, my baby mama, sister, cousin that was, messing around with the milkman, girl, it happened to her. And let me tell you what happened. But where's the person who says, I'm going to pray with you. I'm going to fast with you. And we're going to seek God for an answer. And we know that all things work together for the good of them who are called according to his purpose. Where are those folks? Where are they? And if If God is not your higher power, where's your folks with the positive vibes? Where are those that can encourage you? Hey, you know what? We got you. We're going to go to the Cheesecake Factory. We're going to get a great big piece of cheesecake. After that, we'll leave. We'll go to Cold Stone. We'll come up with a funky, bowl of ice cream. We're just going to eat ourselves into oblivion until we figure this out. And then we'll wash it all down with a Diet Coke. Yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So it's finding a way to focus on the positive. During your downtime, my favorite thing in my downtime is to do puzzles and to watch faith-filled television shows or some family-friendly shows that everybody's happy. At the end of the day, the problem is solved in 30 minutes. We know that's not true. Or, it's solved in 45 minutes to an hour. Everybody comes up with a great solution and life is wonderful. Because I don't want to sit and watch something, for a couple of hours that is rehearsing the problem, is making me feel depressed. Then I get filled with anxiety and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. It's insurmountable. Nope, not going to work. No. Nope. So it's just taking advantage of your downtime and making sure that you're doing some positive reflections during your self-care. Number 8, I surround myself with people, places, and things that just truly bless my soul. I love purple. So as you can see, I got a purple straw. I love Fiji water. So I put a purple straw in my Fiji water. That blesses my soul. It truly does. Or I get a sippy cup. I have a plethora. Some have rhinestones and diamonds and my name, and others have eyelashes on them. People have made me some very unique sippy cups. Others have bought sippy cups that have these beautiful sayings on them. And I go and I get one. And I heat up some tea. My favorite, I like Arnold Palmer, the half and half. And I just pour some in a cup, stick it in the microwave, heat it up. Other times I might brew some tea, pour it in one of my wonderful sippy cups, and that blesses my soul. I like to get other people to sing for me. You guys can check it out on YouTube. I got my sister cousin Pat. She sat and sang for me for about 30, 40 minutes, did a whole list of songs I gave her. And that blesses me. And so I sit and I listen to it. So I did share it. I'll share it again after the show. So those are things that truly bless my soul. Having really good conversations with folks blesses my soul. And that's how I fill up my time. And it really just helps to build me back up. This is a big one. Number 9, I allow myself to experience all the emotions. I used to say all the time, look, we don't have time to cry. We don't have time to sleep. We got to deal with this and just get through it. I've learned that might not always be the right way to do it. So I've learned to stop and say, I eat when I get hungry. I will sleep when I'm tired. I'll cry when I need to cry. Because a lot of times we don't. We just stuff our emotions. We don't rest, don't eat. And I've learned to say no, even to some of the good things that I might want to do. I get lots of invitations, and 9 times out of 10, I have to say no because, especially since I've had my heart attack, I have to plan out my day. I plan out my week. Sometimes it's minute by minute, it may be hour by hour. And when I get tired, I have to say no, even if it's a worthy cause and I would love to be there, would love to do it. I've done two things, now it's like, well, I've done two things today. And so, hey, D said, good afternoon. Good afternoon, sis. And that's my sister from another mister all the way in Detroit. And I love her. Everybody's been asking about her. So D, I got the wait a minute, the link is here. I'm gonna put it back in here again. So if you want to come on, let the people see you. You can bring your children too. She's got my niece and my nephew, beautiful little pumpkins. So if you're a dog lover, which I am, you will appreciate it. Let's see, did I get that in there right? I did. Boom. Hey, Melanie Williams, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. Let's see, here we go. And so I allow myself now to go through the emotions. I have learned from having the heart attack that it's not good. Hey, beautiful lady, how are you? Thank you so much for tuning in today. I've learned that it's not good to stuff our emotions. It's not good unless you're fasting, not to eat, because I'm stressed, or even overeating when you get stressed. And that I've learned a lot to do things a lot better so that I can be here longer. And number 10 is I love me enough to make me a priority and advocate for myself. And I am a realistic optimist. I'm real. I'm, in the sense, a realistic optimist. The definition for me is that the reality is things are going to happen in life. But I believe that if I have a positive attitude, guess what? All things work together for my good, even if it was designed to be bad, if it was designed to take me out, if it was designed to question who I am, question who God is in my life. If somebody's talking about me, you know, she thinks she all that because she bald headed and got them eyelashes, and I don't know what people say, and it's not my business to know what you don't like about me. It's not, because you're in the bottom 3 percentile, and there's 97% of other folks who love me, want to hear what I have to say, and that's what I have to focus on, is the 97%. Because trust me, it's such a small amount of persons that may not like you, who people call them your haters. I don't get into that, because if you're a Christian, and I say this, if you're a Christian and you believe in the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, Jesus called, wait for this, wait for it, called the one that betrayed him his friend. And when Peter tried to defend him and cut off the soldier's ear for bringing this man to come and get Jesus, he said, Satan, get thee behind me. Now, I have my doctoral degree in theology, so we're going to break this down, right? As they call it, exegesis of the text. And what that means is that Peter was trying to stop what God had ordained, had already put into place to happen. And it was the betrayer's job to help him fulfill what God had already put in place. So trust me, let's stop and we think about this. How many things have you done and became your best self because somebody talked about you? And anybody who is a child can say their mother told them not to do something and you did it because you wanted to prove her wrong. So you're going to call your mama a hater? I'm just breaking it down for you. And so what you did was, I'm going to do it in spite of her, and I'm going to show her that I can do this. I can overcome it. I can achieve it. Now, some things, I'm not telling you to go against all good, godly counsel, but I'm saying that it comes from somebody telling us something that we can't do. Trust. If I believed every single person who told me that I should not do anything but put on a big moo, sit in this wheelchair, and complain about how God cursed me, I had to defy the odds. I had to say, I don't believe that's what God has for me. Mm-mm. To sit in this chair and die. I'm telling you, it took me a long time not to listen to that 3% and listen to and pay attention to those who did well in the wheelchair. Yep, I've had some wonderful examples. And that you can live a wonderful, wonderful life. You can. And so, as we continue to talk about developing your inner strength, I'm excited to hear from you. What have you gotten from it, or what has gotten you through? There are some phenomenal folks that come on here every single week, some phenomenal folks who watch, who inbox me. And I would love to hear, I really would, how you have developed your inner strength. What is some of the best advice that you've received? What are some of your best practices? I would really love to know. I would really love to know. So I'm going to go back through my 10. And number 1 is I pray about everything. Even to what I should wear. Even today, I said, Lord, what are we wearing today? And he tells me, he says, you know, remember this, and even down to the jewelry, the earrings. And I'm like, wow, I haven't had that on. Oh, wow, that's okay. Yep. All right. All right, good. And so even down to what should I eat? And trust me, you'd be surprised how much trouble it has saved me from by just listening the first time. Yeah, listening the first time. So number 1 is I pray about everything. Number 2, I find that God answers in everything. You'll be surprised. I could be rolling around and some of the strangest things, my neighbors could just walk around the block. I could be outside watering and I'm praying and the Lord will send an answer through a neighbor, through the television. I could even get a piece of mail. So it's just being sensitive to hear God, that when you ask him, he will answer. Number 3 is I never lied to myself. If today is not a good day, I say, you know, today is not a good day. And so when I tell me the truth, when you ask me, is today a good day? No, it's not. I'm struggling. And what I do love, those that are in my tribe, they know that when they reach out to me every single day, good morning, how are you today? They're not looking for that, oh, I'm fine. Oh, it's all good. Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. They look for my truth. What is my truth today? And then they give me theirs. And which goes with probably like my number 6, but number 4 is I share what I've learned and what I really enjoy about rolling with you guys every single week. I have an opportunity to share and to find those who have learned something as well and get them to share what it is that they know so that we all are informed and not misinformed. So I really love that is once I know something, because there are some people, and this happened to me, I'm going to say maybe 5 or 6 months ago. I reached out to someone thinking like, oh my God, this person is always doing seminars. They help everybody. And I'm going to give them some information and I know they're going to help me. And they did not. They didn't share any of their journey. And I was like, wow. So I was kind of disappointed by that. But I was just like, okay, fine. But I'm telling you, immediately after that, God allowed someone to share. So I was able to get to know what it is that I needed. And number 5 is what I have is tangible and it's transferable. Again, having the opportunity to be on the show, every week, being able to see you in the community, to answer your questions, receive your phone calls, to get your texts, get your inboxes. It's just awesome to be able to sit and today made some phone calls and was able to share what it is that I know and to give it away. My most favorite probably is number 6 is that I have this wonderful tribe. Oh my gosh. I love my tribe. All of you know who you are. We stay connected every single day. I mean, every day. It's good morning. How are you? We check in. We give honest feedback. We talk about whatever we need to have a conversation about. We hold each other accountable. We encourage each other and we pray. And it is reciprocal. It's not them giving all or me giving all. It's even. And we come to each other to replenish and restore. That is that restoration. And we restore each other from the weather, from life, and the things that happen. I, I, I enjoy, truly, truly enjoy my tribe. And they are on the West Coast, the East Coast, in the North and the South. And there are some that are just right here. We are in the we're in the middle of the states, Michigan is. So I'm grateful for those who are here in Michigan that are a part of my tribe. Number 7 is I reflect positively. I have a time of positive reflection and self-care. And many times during our times, we rehearse way too much the negative or the problem. And we got to tell everybody the problem. And we want everybody to get on board with the problem instead of maybe we only tell one person and then everybody else. We need to say, hey, do you have a solution on? I know it's not a big problem, but see these press on nails, right? Now, these are 3D. These two right here are 3D. They never fall off. So I'm not sure what kind of glue, what they did to put these on that they don't come off. But these cute little rhinestones, I ride through the house and my floor is so sparkly. I mean, just sparkly, sparkly, because they come off. So I could call 15 people and complain about how this brand probably ain't nothing. And I'm going to write a letter to these people. They need to stop selling it because they little things fall off. My floor is cluttered. I could find a way to really, trust me, complain about these press-on nails. But in my time of self-care, of putting on a brand new pair, I need to reflect on that positively. So let me go find somebody who, hey, what is the best glue that if I really want something to stick onto a surface that's plastic, that may have paint on it, can you tell me the best glue that I can use that will keep some rhinestones adhered to it? That's the difference. I'm going to ask, I might have one person that I'm going to complain about these press-on nails to, but everyone else, I'm going to say, hey, do you know some really great glue that I can use that adheres to any surface that can hold rhinestones together? That's the difference. And that's how you build up your inner strength. And then that's how you teach your tribe or those that you talk to on a regular basis to give you more positive answers. We're gonna have to kind of go a little bit faster. My voice is starting to give out. Number 8, I surround myself with people, places, and things, and I do stuff that just blesses my soul. You all know I love purple, so I have every. If they make it in purple, I buy it. I love Fiji water, so I'm gonna get me a purple straw and get me some Fiji water and drink my favorite water out of my favorite color straw, and that blesses my soul. We've always taught that we got to be strong about everything. And not to cry. But I've learned that we need to express ourselves, that we don't need to hold all of that in. So I cry when I'm sad. I laugh when I'm happy. I eat when I'm hungry. I rest when I get tired. And I don't deny myself at all. And I even say no to some of the good things, excuse me, that I may want to do. So I've learned to say no. And number 10, and the best and the most important, is that I love me. I love me enough to listen to me, listen to my body. If I got a headache, or like now, I got this cough, and it says that, hey, I gotta get off. I want to say, hey, I love you, y'all. I got my niece all the way down there in Atlanta is tuning in today. I love you, and I hope that you were able to glean something. And on next week, I would love to hear what your 10 points are. But number 10 is loving yourself. And I love me enough to be my own best advocate, to listen to my body, and to take time to find out, what do I need to do to make sure that I'm okay. And I want y'all to know I love y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I will see you on next week.